For nearly 5 decades, David Copperfield has dazzled audiences around the world with his signature brand of blockbuster illusions and sensational magic tricks. But behind the spectacle and showmanship lie allegations of a darker side to the magician.
He put his hand around my waist, and then he runs his fingers between my legs from the back, and then just like strokes up. And I totally froze.
While I was holding the rope, his forearms were going up and down on my chest pretty hard. I just looked out blankly at the audience.
A Guardian US investigation will today reveal damning allegations against David Copperfield. We are reporting more than a dozen sexual misconduct allegations against the magician that span 4 decades, from the late 1980s to 2014. Copperfield denies all of the allegations, and he has never been charged with any criminal wrongdoing. More than half of the women that we interviewed say they were under 18 at the time of the alleged incidents.
At the time, I would have been a freshman in high school. So 14 or 15. It just felt gross and embarrassed.
David Copperfield is one of the most successful illusionists of all time, with a net worth that has been estimated in recent years at nearly $1 billion. He still performs an average of 500 shows a year at his residency at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
People are always asking me, after vanishing an airplane and making the Statue of Liberty disappear, what big illusion are you going to try next?
His fame peaked in the 1990s, and tickets to his magic tours have outsold the likes of Elvis and Michael Jackson. His Emmy-winning TV specials were dominated by death-defying stunts.
I'll be locked to this board, hanging from this rack.
America was enthralled, with millions of people tuning in to watch on television. But amongst his elaborate set pieces, the bread and butter of Copperfield shows was still dependent on one key ingredient: live audience participation.
Sorry, nothing personal.
To watch one of Copperfield's shows today, his treatment of young women from the audience could make for uncomfortable viewing.
These are labels. I need to get these labels on their underwear. No, sir, you can't help me. Turn around, tuck it in. Let's check out the red underwear.
In the course of our investigation, we had multiple accounts from women who had participated on stage with Copperfield and claimed they were inappropriately touched by him. Copperfield denies all of these allegations.
I was in high school, so I was still a minor. I think we were in the 3rd row on the aisle.
My family and I were sitting on a row in the center, and we were enjoying the magic show.
I was really hoping I would get picked to go on stage because, he was really famous at the time.
And my family kept saying, he's going to pick you, because he kept making eye contact.
And then he put his hand out to me, and I was like, yes.
And then, sure enough, he pointed at me.
I got on stage, and he was holding my hand.
I walked up on stage, and he had me turn around.
And then he put his hand around my waist.
And he was behind me with his arms around me. And both of us were holding a rope.
And then he runs his fingers between my legs from the back and then just like strokes up. And I totally froze.
While I was holding the rope, his forearms were going up and down on my chest. Pretty hard.
I heard these two ladies in the front row say, "Did he just touch her?" But I couldn't even react. I was just so shocked.
And I didn't do anything. I kind of just spaced out.
It was just sort of like this feeling at the time that that's just what happens and you deal with it, you know? That there wasn't anything seriously wrong with an adult man who had just, groped an underage teenage girl in front of thousands of people in a theater.
Our investigation was based on interviews with more than 100 sources. We examined court and police records obtained through Freedom of Information requests and re-examined media reports and social media posts. The impact of sexual misconduct is not often visible, but for many of the women we interviewed, they say the long-term consequences have been devastating.
He was in my nightmares. And I just feared him. And I still am really afraid.